Mila Rowan had seen many strange things during her 3 years aboard the Harmony station, but nothing quite prepared her for what awaited in the recreation bay that morning. The station served as a cultural exchange hub between humanity and the Karathi, a species of bear-like aliens whose curiosity rivaled their impressive engineering prowess. When the Karathi ambassador had suggested that human children and Karathi cubs share play spaces, it seemed like a diplomatic triumph. Cultural barriers would dissolve through the universal language of play, or so the theory went. Mila, as the station's child development coordinator, had enthusiastically supported the initiative. She'd personally selected a collection of Earth toys for the Cubs to experience. Building blocks, toy vehicles, dolls, art supplies, and various puzzles. Simple, safe, educational. That was 3 weeks ago. Now standing at the threshold of the play area, Mila stared in bewildered silence at what remained of her carefully curated toy collection. "Ms. Rowan?" A small voice chirped from behind a workbench that definitely hadn't been there before. A furry head peeked over the edge. Corby, the smallest but most mechanically inclined of the cubs. His silver-tipped ears twitched with excitement. "You're early. We wanted to surprise you." Mila stepped inside, her boots crunching on what appeared to be discarded circuit boards. The wooden building blocks she'd introduced now glowed with bioluminescent patterns, rearranging themselves into complex geometric structures without any visible support. A toy car zoomed past her feet at alarming speed, its wheels replaced with some kind of anti-gravity propulsion system that left scorch marks on the floor. "Corby," Mila said slowly, picking up what used to be a simple stuffed rabbit. It now featured articulated joints, LED eyes, and what looked suspiciously like a miniature fusion core in its belly. "What exactly happened here?" The cub scrambled down from his perch, his stubby legs carrying his round body across the room with surprising agility. "We made them better," he announced proudly. "Human toys are wonderful, but they needed upgrades. The rabbit was too soft. It couldn't do anything. Now it can walk, talk, and has a built-in environmental scanner." "I see." Mila set the rabbit down gently. It immediately stood up, stretched with mechanical precision, and began scanning the room with clicking sounds. "And the building blocks?" "Oh, those were Tenna's project. She added quantum entanglement nodes so they could share structural data and build impossible architectures." "Watch!" Corby chittered a command in his native tongue, and the floating blocks suddenly assembled themselves into an Escher-like structure that hurt Mila's eyes to contemplate. A small part of her mind, the part that had written countless safety reports, screamed in alarm. The rest of her, the part that had dedicated her life to understanding how different species learned and played, felt a surge of fascination. "Corby, these modifications are impressive, but some of them might be dangerous. That toy car nearly took out my ankle, and I'm pretty sure this doll—" She picked up what used to be a simple cloth doll, now armored with what looked like microplating, "could probably survive re-entry from orbit." The cub's ears drooped slightly. "Are you angry? We thought you'd be happy. Human toys are so fragile and limited. We wanted to make them match the imagination behind them." That statement stopped Mila cold. "What do you mean?" Corby gestured around the room with surprising eloquence for a being barely reaching her waist. "Human toys suggest such amazing things, but then they can't actually do them. The car looked fast. We made it fast. The robot action figure looked strong. We made it strong. The art set had so few colors, we added a full-spectrum synthesizer that can create any pigment in the known galaxy." He waddled over to a corner and returned carrying what used to be a simple children's telescope. This one was the saddest. It could barely see the nearest moon. Now it can detect exoplanets and measure their atmospheric composition. His large dark eyes looked up at her. "Humans dream such big dreams. Your toys show that. We just made the dreams real." Mila sat down heavily on a crate, her mind racing. The Karathi were known across the galaxy as master engineers, capable of intuitive mechanical innovation that left human scientists baffled. But she'd never considered how that perspective might view human creativity, the ability to imagine beyond current limitations, to dream of things that didn't yet exist. "You're saying," she began carefully, that you see human toys as blueprints, as ideas waiting to be actualized? Yes! Corby bounced excitedly, his whole body jiggling. That's exactly it. Humans are so good at imagining. We're good at building. Together, he spread his paws wide. We make imagination real. Around the room, other cubs began emerging from various corners, carrying their own modified creations. A puzzle that now displayed holographic solutions, teaching spatial reasoning across 4 dimensions. A jump rope that created harmonic fields to enhance physical coordination. A simple board game transformed into an adaptive strategy simulator that could model complex scenarios. Each toy, while perhaps over-engineered and certainly violating numerous safety protocols, represented something profound, a bridge between human creativity and alien technical prowess. Mila looked at Corvy's hopeful face, then at the controlled chaos around her. She thought about the incident reports she'd need to file, the diplomatic meetings that would follow, the regulations that would need rewriting. Then she thought about what it meant that these cubs saw human toys, simple, limited, fragile things, as dreams worth perfecting. Okay, she said finally, causing several sets of ears to perk up around the room. New rule, nothing that can achieve orbit, nothing that can achieve faster than light speeds, and absolutely nothing with weaponizable capabilities. Corvy's face fell for a moment. However, Mila continued, pulling out her datapad, if you're willing to work with me and add some safety features, maybe we can test some of these enhancements properly. The fusion-powered rabbit stays, but we're adding emergency shutoffs. The cheer that erupted from the cubs was deafening. As Corby threw his furry arms around her leg in gratitude, Mila realized something the diplomats had missed. Cultural exchange wasn't about maintaining boundaries. It was about discovering what happened when you removed them. Humans dreamed impossible dreams. The Karathi made impossible things possible. She smiled, watching the cubs already collaborating on new modifications, already imagining new possibilities. Maybe that's what humanity brought to the galaxy. Not just technology or strength, but the audacity to imagine toys that could do anything, and the trust to share those dreams with those who could make them real, even if it meant occasionally dodging a quantum-enhanced rubber ball.